Be good to hear you again. Today, I'm gonna be focusing on what is called design analysis, and this focus is gonna be based on how to analyze design for absolute beginners. This is for beginners. Like I always say, my designs are meant for designers who are beginners as well, like who doesn't know how to navigate their ways and finding it difficult to pick up. And also it could be beneficial to you if you're already designing. You might just learn one or two things. And also Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. This is just after the Christmas. I'm recording this after the Christmas, but we're still in festive season, so that's why I just decided to say Merry Christmas. Okay, let's dive deeper into this design analysis. Now, this is a design. I never made it. I got this particular design on Pinterest. So I basically want to analyze it for a designer who is just thinking how come about this design, how did they do this design. Now, as a beginner, one of the things that can really help you is you replicating people's design. Obviously everybody has been saying that, so it's not really a new thing anymore. So what you need to do is understanding how to analyze design. So once you understand how to analyze design, then you will be able to redesign exactly like that. Then subsequently you will be able to come up with your own idea, even though every designs are just a repackaged of an existing designs, maybe just a little tweak. I myself, I still go to Pinterest, gain ideas from there, then I kick up my designs. Okay, so it's just like getting idea from somewhere, then trying to fine tune it to make it your own. So that's basically what most of designers do. Okay, so this particular design, I was not the one who designed it, but I'm just going to analyze it based on my own understanding. Then from there you have this insight of how to analyze design, then you come up with something good. So by the time you observe an expert's design, then you'll be able to know how they came about some certain things. Then you can also implement it in your own design. Okay, first of all, for me, if I'm to analyze this design, so the first thing is, how was this particular background made? Now these lines here, I can do it, but I can do it in Photoshop as well. And don't forget, I purely design in Photoshop. But for this particular one, to get it accurately like this might be a bit challenging, because let me not say challenging per se, but I am not conversant with how to do that in Photoshop, so it might give me some little challenge. So I won't do that in Photoshop. As for me, what I would do is I'll go to either Figma or Illustrator. And since Illustrator is more easy to access, unlike Figma you have to be connected to the internet for it to function. So for that reason, Illustrator is a go-to for me rather. So I'll go to Illustrator, then I will create these lines right in Illustrator. So then I can just save it as PNG so that it doesn't have a background, or I can make the background right from Illustrator. So once I'm done, I can save it as JPEG, then I'll transport it to Photoshop. So that's the first thing to do. That's the first thing to do for me. That's the first thing I'm gonna do, so to get this background. So once I achieve that, then the next thing is to see what they did here. Okay, basically what they did here was not really something too tough, if I'm going to say. So it's just to get a font that looks more exactly like this. I don't really know this font, so I don't know the name, so I don't know, but you can get a font that looks like this. Once you just check through all your fonts, you get something like this, something very bold actually. So then you make your text, and you can arrange it like this also if you so wish. So that's the next thing. Then for this, you can also see learn here. Learn, they made it really small, but yet it's visible, right? So that's just hierarchy playing up here, hierarchy playing up. So now this particular one, if I'm going to analyze this, like I said, I wasn't the one who designed it. I'm just seeing it based off my own understanding. It might not be the same way the person did it actually. So now the first thing is make up your text. So after you make up your text, then you can duplicate it. That's from what I'm seeing here. The person duplicated, you can duplicate. So once you duplicate, you change the color. So for the one at the top, that's for the text at the top, because obviously if you duplicate, you find it here. I want to believe you already know that they are all working in layers. So then for the first one, which is for this white, you give it a stroke of blue, this particular stroke of blue. Then for the second one, you give it a dark, or the same color of the blue. Then you shift it down a bit to make it form this 3D text kind of. And you can also do it in another way by giving it drop shadow. So once you give it drop shadow, then you detach the drop shadow, but I think duplicating it will be more easier. So that's another thing, or another way the person might have achieved this. So after that, you get this you can always get it in your shape, or you can create it by yourself. That's another thing. So now the next thing is the person made a shape, curved this particular edge, curved this edge, but didn't curve this particular edge. So the curve of this one is at 0, while this one might be at maybe like, let's say 30 or maybe 50, I don't know. Okay, so the same thing goes to this particular place too. The person used a shape, then curved the edge. After curving the edge, you now put the text. Same thing goes to this place. Made a shape, curve the edge, give it a stroke, then put a text in it. Same thing goes to this. Then this is just a logo for the shop at the back here. Then this pen whatsoever, you can also get it, you can download it as a PNG. Same thing goes to this. Created another shape, gave it another color, a deeper blue kind of, with a stroke like a white, not totally white, but like a white stroke. So now this is the person, I don't know, maybe this is the person who designed it, I don't know. So the person now added a stroke to himself. Look at the stroke here. Yeah, that's the stroke here. So then this one looks like a Blender logo. I'm not sure, but it looks like a Blender logo. So added the logo here, added the Photoshop logo here, made a shape here, and if you look at it, you will discover that this is aligned. So you have to make sure that your ruler comes to play here. You can see that everything is aligned, so you can use your ruler to align everything. So once your ruler is placed, it will be very easy for you to align your text and whatsoever you want to align, so that none crosses the border. Then it looks good, then visually appealing. So basically that's what this particular person did here. Yeah, so that's what the particular person did here, and the design looks really dope. I want to go like really dope. It caught my attention, that's why I had to download it and said I'm gonna use it for design analysis for newbies who don't really understand how this design works, or how to come up with idea, or when they see a particular design they can't replicate it the same way. So this is just basically what to do, understanding and being able to analyze design. So once you're able to analyze it, you'll be able to come up with that same design, even if you were not the one who designed it right from time. I hope this really helps, and that's going to be the end of this tutorial. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel Like I said, I'll be dropping more tutorials back to back: graphic design, UI UX design, data analysis of sorts. Then yeah, if it sounds like something you'll really be interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.